pressure all game.
Clark, a problem for Canada there.
But when she gets separation, it's not a problem.
Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever have taken the basketball world by storm.
Steps Howard, she will launch and knock down a three.
And their recent game against the Atlanta Dream was no exception. As we entered the third quarter, the Fever were down by 16 points to the Dream. Many teams would have thrown in the towel, but not this squad. With just 4 minutes left on the clock, the magic began.
Drives a longer, quicker
Caitlin Clark, the rookie sensation, drained a three-pointer that shook the arena. Aaliyah Boston was dominating the boards as if the court was her backyard, and Kelsey Mitchell found her rhythm at the perfect moment. The unthinkable happened. The game went to overtime. In overtime, the Fever showed why they're the breakout team of the season. Clark and Boston worked in perfect sync as if they were reading each other's minds. The result? A breathtaking 104-100 victory, but this win goes beyond the numbers. Aaliyah Boston was nothing short of phenomenal, recording a double-double with 30 points and 13 rebounds, leaving Dream fans in shock. Her offensive efficiency, making 11 of 16 shots, was complemented by her defensive presence, intimidating anyone who dared come near the paint. Kelsey Mitchell, once again, proved why she's one of the leaders of this team. With 21 points and shooting 50% from the field, she stayed calm under pressure, guiding the team through the most tense moments. And let's not forget Lexi Hull, who contributed 12 crucial points, including 4 three-pointers that opened up the Dream's defense. Players in the league. What's truly impressive about Clark isn't just her stats, but her ability to elevate the play of everyone around her. Speaking of Clark, we can't ignore the news impacting the Rookie of the Year race. Angel Reese of the Chicago Sky suffered a wrist injury, prematurely ending her season. Clark, showing the class of a true champion, lamented the injury, saying, "It's definitely sad whenever you see anyone go down, especially people you came into the league with. Angels had a historic year, and it's tough to see her season end early." These words show not only the respect between these young stars, but also the sportsmanship that makes the WNBA so special. Returning to the game against the Dream, it all started with defense. The Fever tightened up, forcing the Dream into mistakes they never saw coming. The numbers don't lie. Atlanta shot just 33.3% in the final quarter, while the Fever hit 58.8%, sealing an unforgettable comeback. This defensive turnaround was the foundation of the Fever's remarkable comeback. Aaliyah Boston was the pillar of this transformation. Beyond her incredible offensive production, she dominated the boards like a true titan of the court. Her 5 offensive rebounds acted as adrenaline shots for the team, giving the Fever second chance opportunities on offense and limiting the Dream's ability to score. Kelsey Mitchell took control when it mattered most, scoring 6 crucial points in the final quarter, including clutch free throws that forced the game into overtime. Her calmness under pressure served as a reminder of why she's regarded as one of the team's key leaders. And then there was Caitlin Clark, the maestro of the Fever's offense. In the fourth quarter alone, she dished out 5 assists, creating opportunities for her teammates when the pressure was at its peak. Her court vision and game sense were nothing short of extraordinary, as she orchestrated the Fever's offense like a seasoned veteran. In overtime, the Fever showed their true colors, outscoring the Dream 14-10. They displayed a lethal combination of calmness under pressure and precise execution that would make any seasoned team proud. Aaliyah Boston continued her dominance, scoring 6 critical points that seemed to break the Dream's spirit. Even though Clark faced shooting difficulties, her maturity shone through. She contributed in other vital ways, including 2 key assists and 4 clutch free throws that ultimately sealed the victory. We can't forget to mention Tammy Fagbenlay, who came off the bench to make significant contributions in overtime. Her field goal and defensive rebound highlighted the value of the Fever's depth, showing that this team has weapons for every moment of the game. What stood out the most in overtime was the remarkable maturity displayed by such a young team. There was no panic, no rushed plays, just a composed, confident squad playing with the poise of seasoned veterans. It was a clear sign of the team's growth and development, evolving before our eyes game after game. The chemistry between Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston is improving with each game, and they've become one of the most feared duos in the league. Combining for 56 points in this game, they showed they can be any opponent's worst nightmare come playoff time. With Kelsey Mitchell as the third piece of this offensive puzzle, the Fever now have a trio that can create headaches for even the most experienced teams. The Fever's success hasn't gone unnoticed. At the beginning of the season, many saw this team as just Caitlin Clark's squad, but now they're proving to be a complete and and balanced force, forcing opposing teams to rethink their strategies. From the league's perspective, the Fever's success is great news. Caitlin Clark's presence was already driving increased interest in the WNBA, and now that her team is thriving, it's likely to lead to higher viewership and greater fan engagement, especially as we head into the playoffs. Arenas are packed, media coverage is increasing, and the buzz around the league is at its highest level in years. For the teams at the top of the standings, the Fever now represent a real threat. No one will want to face this young and confident squad in the first round of the playoffs. This could lead to an interesting race for positioning in the final weeks of the regular season. However, it's not all smooth sailing for the Fever. Recently, concerns have been raised about Caitlin Clark's physical safety on the court. Former NBA star Joakim Noah even suggested that the Fever should hire a protector for Clark, citing the number of hard fouls she's been enduring. "If I were the owner of the Indiana Fever, I would hire a real protector to keep her safe," Noah remarked. Clark has been the target of 16% of the flagrant fouls committed in the entire WNBA this season, an alarming statistic that raises important questions about how to protect the league's stars without compromising the game's intensity. Let's be clear, the road to the championship is still long and filled with obstacles. Every remaining game in the regular season is crucial for playoff positioning. The Fever will face teams fighting for a spot and others trying to secure home court advantage. There are no easy games from here on out, and when the playoffs begin, that's when the real pressure sets in. The Fever will encounter more experienced teams that have been through the grind of a playoff series before. The pressure will be immense, and the question remains, can this young Fever team keep their composure in the most critical moments? The big question is, does this young squad have what it takes to surprise the league and make a deep playoff run? Or will inexperience prove too heavy a burden when the games get tougher? One thing is for sure, the Indiana Fever's upcoming games will be breathtaking. Every possession, every shot, every decision could change the course of the season. The Fever are no longer just a feel-good underdog story. They're a legitimate threat, a team no one wants to see in the playoffs. With Clark breaking records, Boston dominating the boards, and the rest of the roster elevating their game, the sky's the limit for this team. But what do you think? Does the Fever have what it takes to make a splash in the playoffs? Will Clark and Boston continue their incredible form under mounting pressure? And what are your thoughts on Kelsey Mitchell's growth this season? Is the WNBA doing enough to protect its stars, like Clark, from potentially dangerous fouls? Or is this part of the game that players must adapt to? Leave your thoughts in the comments. If you're as excited as I am for this WNBA home stretch, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We'll be breaking down key games, analyzing standout plays, and debating who will take the title this year. Make sure to turn on notifications so you don't miss a single update about the playoffs. This WNBA season is historic and you won't want to miss a moment. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like. It helps the channel grow and brings more WNBA fans into our community. Together we can grow the WNBA fan base even more. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.